creative nonviolent vegan advocacy is, I don't think we need all these groups. So frankly, if this is going to work, the revolution will not come as a result of charities. It's going to come as a result of a grassroots movement of all of us. We don't need leaders. We don't need groups. We don't need organizations. We don't need teachers. What we need is, we need to get out there and do the work. You don't write a check and have somebody else do it. You don't donate to somebody else and have that, you do it. And if we do it, if we have a grassroots movement, we can change the world. Just for the hell of it, I did some research on the number of vegans in the United Kingdom. The lowest number I could find was 150,000, and I think it's higher than that, much higher than that. But the lowest number I could find is 150,000. If every one of those 150,000 educated one other person in the coming year, we've got 300. Then we've got 600. Then we've got 1.2 million. Then we've got 2.4. And then we've got 4.8. And then we've got 9.6. And then we've got 19. etc. And in 10 years, we've got 78 million vegans, and there are 63 million people in the United Kingdom. So if every one of us educated one other person, one, in the next year, and then we did that, we'd have a vegan Britain in 10 years. And we could do it. That we need to be telling people because they're too stupid. And I so much object to that. I'm hoping to see my friend Ronnie Lee this week. Ronnie's here, isn't he? Yeah. And I'm hoping to see my friend Ronnie Lee because I saw him say something about, we can't really talk about veganism to people because, they're just not morally sophisticated enough to understand it. I'm sorry, people. I think that is bullshit, and I do not mean to denigrate bulls. I really do think that is wrong. I think that people understand it. They get it. When I don't spend a whole lot of time talking to animal people these days because talking to people who are involved in these animal groups about veganism as a moral baseline is really frustrating because they argue. They get all upset. They want to support foie gras campaigns. They want to support cage-free eggs, crate-free pork, and all this nonsense. That's fine. I talk to regular people. And I start off by saying, how many of y'all got a dog or a cat or whatever? And 90% of the audience, right, saying, okay, fine, you love them, members of the family, blah, 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 blah. And then I say, so why aren't you vegan? And then we have a discussion, which is usually scheduled for an hour, oftentimes goes to 3. And every time I have one of those, every time Ann and I do one of those things, we will get, out of a group of 100 people, we'll get 10 or 20 people who come up and say, you know what, I never thought about it that way. When I say to them, do you believe it's wrong to inflict unnecessary suffering on animals? And they say, yeah, I agree with that. And I say, well, but wouldn't you agree with me that whatever necessity means, it means you can't justify suffering for reasons of pleasure, amusement, or convenience? Yeah, I would agree with that. That's simple. Okay, fine. Then why aren't you a vegan? Because you don't need to eat animal products to be optimally healthy. And animal agriculture is an ecological disaster. The only justification we have for exploiting the billions and billions and billions of animals and the trillions of fish every year is palate pleasure. Palate pleasure and fashion sense because we think we look good in it. And that's it. And that can't constitute necessity. And you know what? People are not stupid. They get that. And even if they're not going to go vegan immediately, you've planted the seed and you've made the message clear. And so they're not going to go off and buy cage-free eggs or crate-free pork or steak instead of foie gras. They're going to be thinking about this. They're going to be thinking. And so, because this is not rocket science. Most people already believe. Almost everybody you meet. You don't believe me? Go outside today at some point. Not during one of my talks. But go outside today and just stop people on the street and say, do you think it's wrong to inflict unnecessary suffering on animals? And you know what? You will not get one person who will say, I disagree with that. And they already agree with everything they need to agree with to get to the vegan point. There is one and only one way we're going to stop animal exploitation, and that is we need to create a grassroots. We don't need these groups. We need us. We just need us, and we need our commitment and our passion and getting out there and not letting a day go. Talk to anybody you can, every single day of your life. We need a grassroots movement. It's the only thing that's going to ever change. We do need revolution, but we need a revolution of the heart. Peace. Thank you very much.
Special what? Whoa, big hand, Gary Francione. Well, you tell the show we'll be back shortly, in an hour or so, to do another speech. It'll also be